What's going on, guys, and welcome to SKG. This is the social race around Belgium, and we are live. This is your short qualifying session and a 50% race. So let's go on board with the driver that's out in front. Stad Daisy is the first driver, the American in the Williams, and he's just coming around Brussels at turn 11. And then he'll go down towards Pujon, and the Williams driver will be the first one to set a lap as we just start qualifying. So should be a good one. Let me know if the sound's okay, everybody, if the audio's good, if the sound's too loud or the background's too low. Just let me know because I cannot hear it. Right, okay. Down towards Stavelot at turn 15 for the Williams driver. Straight out on them soft compounds. He just wants to get going, doesn't he? Wants to get started, the American. So on board with Stad Daisy. We've got Sam Manders just behind him in the Alpine. And the Dutchman is just behind the American. So down towards the bus stop chicane. So let's ride on board and let's go through the first lap here at SKG for this social race. Right down towards the line goes Stad Daisy. And up towards turn 1 at La Source. Just slams on them brakes, kisses the apex to the right hand side early on the throttle as the Williams darts out of La Source through turn 2 and down towards Arouge. Up the hill we go, touching the apex at turn 3, up through turn 4 and 5, down through Radalon and into the Kemmel straight. That rear wing will open on the back of that Williams, giving that extra bit of horsepower as we go down towards Les Combs at turn 7, hitting the brakes, and he just wants to dive into this double chicane. Through turn 8 and 9 we go, and this is a good clean lap from the Williams. Down towards Brussels at turn 10 we go, nice and tight to the chicane. In towards turn 11, a slight slip of the rears there, but nothing that would hinder his lap. Down towards Pujon at turn 12, and the Williams driver putting it all on the line as we come out of Pujon and down towards turn 13. The Williams driver just easing off the throttle and just feathering his way through Campus at turn 14 and in towards Stavelot at turn 15. Really nice line through there for the American. And out of turn 16 we go at Paul Frere. And this is a clean, sleek lap from the Williams driver through Blanchemont at turn 17. And let's see what the first lap around Spa here in Belgium will be. Through the bus stop chicane, down towards the line for the Williams driver, burning that battery, rear wing is open, and it's a 1:42.0. What about the Dutchman of Sam Manders behind him in the Alpine? He's just coming through Blanchemont at turn 17. Into turn 18 we go, using the curb to the right hand side to his advantage. Down towards the bus stop chicane for the Alpine driver. What can the Flying Dutchman do? Into the pit lane he goes. What about the Aston Martin of Baltas behind him? He's not on a lap just yet, the Hungarian. We do have a Kick Sauber though, he's also not on a lap, so let's try and find the next driver. Ethan in the McLaren has invalidated his lap time, and then we've got the Aston Martin of Tubbs Toaster. He's going to be next, and the Hungarian driver coming up towards the bus stop chicane in that Aston Martin. In towards turn 19 and 20, a little reluctant through there, early on the throttle. No, he's going to go for another lap. It looks like he has backed out. And then we do have a Red Bull also on an out lap. That is Karas, the Polish driver. And then the Haas of Grizu. I will try and get used to all of these names, but I'll do my best to pronounce them in the best way I can. So the Frenchman coming through Blanchemont into turn 18 and down towards the bus stop chicane for the MoneyGram Haas driver in towards turn 19 and 20, hugging the apex to the right hand side, early on the left, down towards the line, a slip of the rears, and it's a 1:43.2 for the Frenchman. There is a Scuderia and a Mercedes coming through. Bloodhounds goes up to P3. Stad Daisy is still on provisional pole. And the Norwegian driver in the other Scarlet Ferrari just on his outlap. Karas, the Polish driver, goes fastest in Sector 1. What about Baltas? He's going to be next as he comes out of Paul Frere. in Sector 3. Hydra is in. So the Aston Martin driver flat out now as we go into Blanchimont and up towards the bus stop chicane. Yellow flags are waving. And what can the Aston Martin driver do? Into turn 19 and 20 we go. And down towards the line. Not a bad lap, but he might have to find some improvement. Up to P4 at 1:43.2. We do have two Kick Saubers coming to the line. Neville, I think that is. Let me know if I've got that right. Goes into the pit lane. The other Kick Sauber of Baloo is on an outlap, about to start his flying lap. Another Hungarian driver. And then we have Red Bull, that is Karras. Let's see what he can do. He went fastest in Sector 1. Into the bus stop chicane. Goes a little bit deep. And then again into turn 20. That has hindered his lap, but still goes up to P2. Oh, 1:42.8. But there is definitely improvement for the Polishman. Here comes Tubbs Toaster down into the pit lane. He goes. The two Mercedes. Remus is going to be next. The Romanian driver into the bus stop chicane in the Mercedes AMG. Petronas early on the throttle. Down towards the line we go. And the Mercedes goes up to P3 at 1:43.0. What about Baloo in the Sauber? Is he going to go for a lap with that distinctive white helmet with that little flash of purple on the top? Sorry if you are watching an advert. So, Baloo coming around Puhon. Sorry guys, I've had my mic muted on my stream. So, we are on board with Baloo in the Sauber. Down towards Stavelot at turn 15. And it's purple Sector 2 for the Kick Sauber driver through Paul Frere. At turn 16, down towards turn 17 at Blanchimont. What can the Kick Sauber driver do? Oh, Baloo, the Hungarian, wearing his native colours on the livery of that car. Down towards the bus stop chicane we go. Through turn 19 and 20. Wants to get his foot down now. Pedal to the metal. To the line we go. And it's up to P4. These times are very impressive, but they are super competitive. Bloodhound wants to be careful not to get disqualified there. The Red Bull driver might just follow him into the pit lane. Karras, the man from Poland, does, but he has to slam on the brakes to not go into the back of that Scarlet Ferrari in front. We do have another Ferrari. He has invalidated it. That is the Norwegian driver. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. So, Stad Daisy is back on an outlap. He is currently on provisional pole here in Belgium. Through the bus stop chicane, we have a Mercedes just behind him. And I think that is Ramus. It's just gone into the pit lane, so we'll stay on board. I think Sen Manders actually is on the lap. He's gone purple Sector 1 as he goes down towards Brussels at turn 10. So, Sen Manders, the Dutch driver, going in towards turn 11. Nice and tight to the apex there, using that right-hand side to his advantage to get the whole pace out of there. And down towards Puhon for the Alpine driver. Goes wide, doesn't invalidate it, but he has to step off the gas. And that would have cost him at least a couple attempts, if not more, for Sen Manders. And the Kick Sauber has spun it into La Source. And he will be kicking himself there. We're back on board with Sen Manders in the Alpine as he comes in towards Stavelot and Paul Frere. Has he backed out? He's still got a lot of battery charge. And we'll go on board with Stad Daisy. He is improving the American as we go down towards Puhon. Stad Daisy is on provisional pole and he's making up time as well. And down in towards campus at turn 13 and 14 for the Williams driver. So, down towards Blanchimont for the Williams. Is he going to improve on his provisional pole time? We're about to find out. Stad Daisy into the bus stop chicane. Over the apex at 19. That is a really delicious line as he comes through there. Down towards the line for Stad Daisy. And he does improve by a tenth of a second. And he's into the 1:41.9s. What a lap Greaser is improving as well. The Frenchman in the Haas going down towards Pujon is improving. He's currently in P5. We do have a kick Sauber coming through as well. And that is Etnevel. I think he spun it into Lassalle, so he's had to go all the way round again. We have a Papaya McLaren just going slow. He's invalidated it. And then a Scuderia coming flying behind him. And that is Bloodhound, who's on an outlap. And look at this. Icarus, I think that's how you're going to say it, in the Mercedes is on a lap as well. He is improving. Is he going to get a cheeky slipstream from the driver in front? No, he's not. The Red Bull just going off the track. That might invalidate him for the next lap. Down in towards the bus stop chicane for the Mercedes AMG. Into turn 19 and 20. 6 minutes of this qualifying session remaining. Down towards the line. And the Mercedes driver goes up to P4. What about Grizu? He spins it coming out of the bus stop chicane. And creeps over the line. But the Mercedes is up to P4. It's Mercedes locking out the second row at the moment. Etnevel is invalidated it again. We've got Caruso also trying for another lap. We'll go on board with Bloodhound in the Scala Ferrari, who's just slides around Les Combs. And that will have cost him as he slides again through Brussels. And it's more Tokyo Drift than F1 here. Grizu on an in lap, and we do have a couple of drivers behind him. Karas is going to be next. The man from Poland got a little bit deep there and he has invalidated it. Wow, the times are so competitive. They're really closely matched. So Bloodhound did invalidate it, so did Karas. What about that kick Sauber just behind him? That's Baloo. He's only on an outlap. He has a Mercedes driver just chopping the time down behind him. But he's already set his lap. Grizu as well. Ramus. Is Ramus on a flyer? We're about to find out. The man from Romania. And go in. And he's gone purple sector 2. He is improving. He's nearly 3 tenths up here. Ramus going down towards Blanchimont. A little bit of traffic in front of him. He just needs to navigate around it. That Ferrari has not seen him. He's got a slipstream. And that would have helped him out as he goes down towards the bus stop chicane. The Mercedes driver into turn 19 and 20. Slides around the final corner. And the Romanian to the line. And he has lost all of that effort that he made through sector 1 and 2. And he's lost it coming out of the bus stop chicane. Unbelievable. We go on board with Baloo as he comes up a rouge and down the Kemmel straight for the kick Sauber. What can the Hungarian driver do? I hope that wasn't a couple of spots of rain we just seen in the distance. If it is, this qualifying session is over and he has invalidated it. So, nothing Baloo can do. Baltus in the Aston Martin is getting ready for a flyer. What about Tubbs Toaster as he comes in towards a rouge? Over the apex, down the Kemmel straight. The Aston Martin will open that rear wing. And this is it now, just to see how fast he just touches the grass there. And that might have cost him just a little bit of time as he just scales onto there. Through Les Combs we go with the Aston Martin driver. Oh, he's just on the gravel there ever so slightly. So a little bit shaky. That is the rain. It is the rain. And nobody will be touching the American today. He is on pole position and he will stay there. The rain has arrived here in Spa. That could well be the end of this qualifying session. Yep, Etnevel has retired. And here comes Baloo into the pit lane. Karas has retired as well from P2. Tubbs Toaster is on a lap. He might be able to improve from that 143.9. But who will be the last driver to improve if he does? Down through Blanchimont we go. So down towards the bus stop chicane for the Aston Martin driver. And into the pit lane he goes. That is it. This looks like it is over for the drivers. Nothing more they can do. And Sam Manders, who had an awful couple of outlaps, will be kicking himself in that Alpine that he's not able to start up a little bit higher in this Grand Prix. But he is going to go for a lap, Stad Daisy. He is already on pole position. So we'll just see what he can do. So up Aruzin down the Kemmel Straight. Yes, and Manders, he looked like he definitely had pace. But there's no way he's going to improve in the rain. He might be able to improve. It's only light rain from a 145, but it'll be tricky. Baltus has retired. Let's just see if Stad Daisy is improving. He is on pole position. Down in towards Brussels at turn 10 we go. Very interesting. In towards Puhom. So that looks like it is the end of qualifying here. Stad Daisy coming into the bus stop chicane and into the pit lane. There is a couple of drivers still out. But I'm not sure the Frenchman will be able to improve. Yeah, P9 Ethan and 1/10 off P4. So close to times. The checkered flag has been waved here in Belgium. Nothing more these drivers can do. Here comes the Frenchman. Will he be able to find any sort of improvement? It would be a sensational drive if he did, but he doesn't. 1.2 down. The Ferrari of Bloodhound has invalidated his lap time. His teammate in the other Scarlet Ferrari coming down, and Bloodhound is retired from this qualifying session. But here comes the Norwegian driver that goes into the wall and out. That is the end of qualifying. And we have our starting grid here in Belgium. Stad Daisy will take pole position in the Williams. Caruso in the Red Bull will start alongside him on the front row. It's an all Mercedes lockout for the second row. Removes the Romanian in P3 and the other Mercedes in P4. Baloo in the Sauber in P5 and Grizu in the Haas in P6. On the fourth row of the grid, Bloodhound in the Ferrari in P7 and Baltus in the Aston Martin in P8. Ethan in the McLaren on the fifth row of the grid in P9. And alongside him, the Norwegian driver in the Scuderia. Complete your top 10 for today's Grand Prix. Ethan, if you can just let me know if formation lap is on. Alright, good. Nice one, mate. Here we go for SKG Racing League. This Spa Social race, the pre-season race of Season 11. This is what it's all about. This is what you're going to expect and what is to come in Season 11. And what an opener we have here. 14 drivers racing around Spa. And it's bound to be exciting. Full of drama. Full of excitement. Full of overtakes. That is the main thing. And we are just a minute away till lights out. Here we go. This is it for the social race here at SKG. And it's lights out and away we go. Down towards turn 1. Ramus is already through on the Red Bull as we go down in towards La Source. Ramus hits the wall as well. There's a bit of drama behind. Carus is back up into P2, but wheel to wheel with the Mercedes. Who gets through? He's already up 2 places as we go into a Rouge. Stad Daisy is already 8 attempts clear of the back. Here comes Bloodhound on Baloo. The Ferrari is through on the Kick Sauber, and Baltus wants a piece of the action as we go down the Kemmel straight. Ramus is back through. Mercedes are 2-3 now as we go in towards Les Combs. The Sauber of Baloo just going up the inside of Bloodhound in that Scuderia, but has to back out. Ramus with a 3-second time penalty. Sam Manders on the back of Hydra makes the overtake, and Hydra is into the wall. Hydra has no front wing in that V-cab. And the Mercedes already 1.2 seconds behind Stad Daisy. Baloo all over the back of Carus in the Red Bull, who's down 4 places at the start of this Belgian Grand Prix. Ethan in the McLaren is through on the Ferrari as well, and Etnevel is there in the Sauber. He's wheel to wheel with Sam Manders in the Alpine, but he thinks he's just going to have to back out. Onto the gravel goes the Alpine. And Tubbs Toaster will get a free overtake for nothing here as Sam Manders goes down to P13. The 2 Mercedes now chasing down Stad Daisy in the Williams, who is the race leader at the end of lap 1. Here comes Baloo on Bloodhound. He's also got Carus in the Red Bull. He's going off the track to get the move done as we go through Blanchimont and up towards the bus stop chicane. Baloo in the Kick Sauber up to P5, exactly where he started. Bloodhound and Carus nearly go wheel to wheel through the bus stop chicane. Baltus just watching on in the Aston Martin. Can he get the move done as we go down towards La Source? Ethan is through on the Ferrari, and here comes Bloodhound. He goes late on the brakes, and out of this Grand Prix goes the Scarlet Ferrari. Sam Manders makes a move on Tubbs Sosa in the Aston Martin in towards La Source at turn 1. What about Grisou in the Haas? The Frenchman on the back of Ramus, the Romanian, as we go down the Kemmel straight, but they both have DRS. Down in towards Les Combs we go, but Stad Daisy already 2 seconds clear. And Ramus in the Mercedes. Well, he's going to go for the move. He just looks on his teammate and thinks better of it. What about Grisou in the Haas? The yellow flags are waving, but look at Ramus. He is practically pushing his teammate through Brussels and down towards Pouhon, all over the rear diffuser as the other Mercedes gets all muddled up, and Ramus is all over him. Here comes Grisou in the Haas. He's looking for an overtake. They're now 3 seconds behind Stad Daisy. The American is flying. And Sam Manders is through on Etnevel in the Sauber. And Sam Manders up into the top 10 in the Alpine. What about Grisou? He's looking for a move. Surely he can't get a double Mercedes overtake. Through Paul Frere and down towards Blanchimont. Up the inside we go. This is incredible. Grisou in the Haas. 1 Mercedes down. 1 to go. Down towards the bus stop chicane. And Grisou has to back out. He's got to be a bit patient here. Ramus goes up the inside of Baloo. But can he hold on? The Sauber driver trying to defend. Ramus is side by side as they go up towards La Source. But he's going to have to be a bit more patient and wait for the Kemmel straight. Baltus on Carus, the Red Bull driver, just holding on to that P6 position. Grisou is definitely in the front running for this P2 position now. He'll get that DRS as he comes out of Aruj and down the Kemmel straight. And here he comes into the slipstream of that Mercedes, but he must be burning that battery, which he is. And here comes Baloo down in towards Les Combs. Later on the brakes goes the Haas driver, and Baltus is through on Carus as well, who's now down 5 places. Let's have a look at the tyres, all on the softs apart from Grisou. And that is a really good strategy for him to be in P3 on the mediums. That is brilliant. So Baloo is still there though. Stad Daisy 5 seconds clear. He is running away with this Grand Prix. Here comes Grisou around Pouhon. Surely he's not going to try the overtake here. And Baloo in the Sauber. They are all within DRS range. This huge DRS train. Remember, Carus has lost a lot of positions, but he's on the medium tyre. As long as he can stay with this pack, it's only going to be advantageous for him in this Grand Prix. Oh, look at this. Baltus is going to go for the move on removes. Moves over to the right-hand side, and the Aston Martin with a spectacular overtake coming out of Paul Frere. And up to P5 we go. What about Baloo on Grisou? The Sauber driver on the Haas slots in front of him. And now he's going to go for the Mercedes as well. Into the bus stop chicane. They touch, and the Haas has collided with the Mercedes as well. But it is the Mercedes that stays in front. Baltus has lost the position in the Aston Martin. They are squabbling for places here. Up the inside we go. It is Baloo now up to P3. We've got the Haas and the Aston side by side. The Mercedes and the Red Bull side by side. The Ferrari can't believe what he's seeing. You don't want to go wheel to wheel through a ruse, but they do. And they pull it off. Down the Kemmel Straight we go. Here comes Baltus in the Aston Martin. And what about Grisou? What about Baloo? Up to P2 for the kick Sauber. The other three go wheel to wheel in towards Let's Comes. Look at this for racing. And that is Ramus down to P8. He's lost a few places. In towards Brussels we go. The drivers all over the place. Just clinging on the medium compound runners. That is the Haas driver off the track. And Grisou is into the wall. He was having a brilliant start to this Grand Prix. And he is in to the wall here in Belgium. Baltus in the Aston Martin. All over the back of the Mercedes. And the Mercedes has a snap coming out. Has the Aston Martin capitalised? He hasn't. Down towards Stavelot. And look at this now from the Red Bull. Caruso sees an opportunity. Them softs do not last long around Spa, and Caruso might start to feel the benefit of starting on the mediums. What about the Ferrari who started on the hards? This could be an amazing strategy for him as he just wheel bang going up towards the bus stop chicane, and he spun it, but it's held on. Wow, that was fantastic. Driving skills from the Ferrari driver to hold on to that. Here comes Caruso on the back of the Mercedes. He'll wait for the DRS, and the Mercedes brakes really early, maybe trying to play a game of DRS chicken. That was a bit silly, that, slamming on the brakes. And the Red Bull driver is just going to move in front, and now the Mercedes will probably get the DRS. But at what cost? Nearly caused huge damage in the Ferrari's round. The Ferrari on the hards. This is turning into a demolition derby. That is a safety car. Finally, the safety car comes out here in Spa. That is going to pull Stad Daisy back into the pack, and he is not going to be happy with that. That is not what he wanted. Who is going to pit though? I think Caruso could probably stay out here and capitalise on starting on their mediums, but the soft runners will be so quick. He could even pit and now go on to the softs. It does look a little bit murky out there as well, so whether the rain's going to come. Ah, okay, Ethan, thank you. So there is rain in a couple of laps, so a few of the drivers might gamble here. It will be interesting to see if they do. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to sort something out. So a lot of the drivers do go into the pit lane. And Stad Daisy has stayed out, wow. Let's have a look at the tyres. This is interesting. Wow, the Mercedes and the McLaren have pitted for intermediates. They want to really hope that the rain comes under this safety car. I tell you what, Caruso is going to be rapid here. If the rain doesn't come, he's on the mediums. The other drivers have stayed out on old soft compounds. Karus, the man from Poland in that Red Bull, is going to be flying here. Sen Manders and Ramus have gone onto the hard compounds. Hydra is back into this race, which is good to see for the VCAB who held on and carried on. Interesting strategy to pit for the hards when the rain is coming. So yeah, interesting strategy. Yeah, Adrian, yeah, he has pitted for the hards. It's a strange one. So, Stad Daisy is still your race leader in the Williams on lap 6. Baloo in the Sauber in P2. Karus in the Red Bull is in P3, but he's on the medium compound tyres. Baltus in the Aston Martin in P4. Novell, I think that's how you say it, in the Sauber in P5. Tup Soster in the Aston Martin in P6. On the mediums as well is Grisou, the Frenchman in the Haas, is in P7. Then we've got the Mercedes. Oh, the rain is here! The rain is here! This is unbelievable! And because of where Hydra is, he's going to be in no rush to get back with this pack. And that means the safety car will probably stay out for another lap. And everybody that pitted on the intermediates will now be leading this Grand Prix. What do the front runners do? They're gambling. They've gone in for it. And Karus has stayed out on the mediums. Wow, so has Grisou. So the safety car will be out for one more lap. But the rain is here. It's always notorious for rain here in Spa. As we've seen in 2022, when we didn't see a single race, we seen one lap behind the safety car, and that was all the fans were treated to. Sen Manders has also stayed out on the hard, so they're hoping that even though it's raining, it's not going to become too heavy yet, and they're going to be able to get a couple of laps in. The difference in pace between hards and mediums, I don't know what Hydra is doing there, but he is overtaking everybody on the intermediates, which is a bit silly. He just slots back into P6. So yeah, these hard runners and medium runners, they will be hoping 2021, sorry Buck, yeah, you're absolutely right. These will be hoping that even though it's raining, they're able to just take off on them hards and then pit for the intermediates later on in this Grand Prix. But we shall see. Karus, he wants to be pushing this safety car around this circuit and getting it to get off the track ASAP so they can go back racing. The longer this safety car stays out, the wetter the track will get and the slower them dry compounds become. But it does look like the rain is starting to bounce off the circuit now. Oh, he spun it. And Grisou is through. And the cheeky Mercedes on the intermediates tried to get through as well. That was a sneaky little move there. So, as he was warming up his tyres, he's nearly gone off the circuit and into the wall. He's done really well to hold on to it, but he's now in P2. And Grisou said, thank you very much. I'll take the lead of this Grand Prix. They need to get a good start here. Safety car is in this lap on lap 7. And we are going to go racing again. And these dry runners, they need to get away quick here. So, out of Paul Frere we go, and down towards Blanchimont. It is the Frenchman that will lead the pack. And the rain, you can see it just starting to bounce off the track. It is definitely close to intermediates, but maybe they'll get a lap in before it's full intermediate tyres. He's just trying to get that heat into them medium tyres. Into the bus stop chicane we go. Grisou will lead us away. And into the pit lane he goes. Carew stays out, but he slips into the bus stop chicane, and there's absolute carnage behind. That is Stad Daisy in the Williams, and everybody is through on Carew, who should have bidded for the intermediates. Ethan is going to go up the inside of the Mercedes in towards La Source, and it is the McLaren that goes up to P2, wheel to wheel with the Mercedes, who's not going to give him an easy run through, and the Mercedes going down towards Rouge. Ethan might have to back out, and he does. Up Rouge they go, and down the Kemmel straight. It is Hydra that is unbelievably in the lead of this Grand Prix from the back of the grid. Here comes Ethan into the slipstream of that Mercedes. They are chasing down that V-Carb in front. Is he going to go for the lunge? He does in towards Les Combs, but Hydra holds on. Baltus is through on Ramoose. It is definitely intermediate tyres. They should have pitted. Griezou is now right at the back, but his tyres are a little bit fresher. Here comes the Mercedes of Ramoose on Baltus in the Aston Martin. Up the inside of Brussels. Can he get the better exit? He does. And Baloo in the Sauber. Oh, look at that now. There's just a mist from the rain off the track just spraying everywhere. That is got wet real quick. Stad Daisy on the back of Ethan. He was the race leader up until that safety car. He's got Baloo chasing him down, and he's got Ethan in front defending, who just slightly touches the gravel there, and it might have compromised his exit. We've got Hydra leading in the V car, but for how long, as the Mercedes driver is chasing him down, and then we've got Ethan in the McLaren. Stad Daisy is there. Everybody is within touching distance. Here comes Baltus on Ramoose once again, and the Sauber of Etnevel is going to come through, and the Sauber driver through Blanchimont. Somebody's knocked down the marker as well. Sam Manders is through on Caruso, who's staying out on the mediums. Wow, that is a ballsy move. Etnevel is through on Ramoose. They go wheel to wheel through the bus stop chicane. Ramoose trying the old switcheroo as they come out of turn 20 onto the rear diffuser of that Sauber in front. But Hydra is still the race leader on lap 9. The strategy has paid off for the V-Carb. Stad Daisy, who was the race leader up until that safety car come out, is chasing him down. And he is closing that gap to that McLaren in front. Is he going to be sensible here? Ramoose is through on Etnevel in the Sauber. And there goes the Mercedes driver up the inside of Hydra in the V-Carb. They touch, and here comes Ethan in the Papaya McLaren. Round the outside, he backs out. Here comes Stad Daisy, and the McLaren is onto the grass. Ethan is down to P5, slipping and sliding everywhere. Ramoose gets through on Baltus, the Aston Martin conceding position. And Baloo is up to P4, Stad Daisy in P3. And the American driver is trying everything to get back where he was. So we'll just see if he's able to do that or not. So here we go. Hydra still the race leader. And Stad Daisy in the Williams. He's going to go for the move. I've seen a lot of lunging, a lot of diving from the drivers. Definitely impatience playing a factor in some of these incidents. There goes Tubbs Soster on Etnevel, and the Aston Martin is through, but Lou gets a time penalty. Where is Stad Daisy? All over the back of that Mercedes AMG Petronas as they go in towards the bus stop chicane out of turn 20. Is he going to get the exit? He does. Uses the outside curb. The Mercedes just wobbling around as Stad Daisy closes the gap on him. They are now 9/10 of a second behind Hydra in front, who's your race leader on lap 10. 12 laps to go. The gap is now up to a second. Stad Daisy all over the rear diffuser of that Mercedes as they go down towards the Rouge. Can he make the move down the Kemmel straight? We're about to find out. The Mercedes holding on for dear life as he comes through there. Down the Kemmel straight we go, and the Williams into the slipstream. But can he get the move done? He's just not got the straight line speed to get past that Mercedes yet. But they have closed the gap to Hydra. What about Baltus in the Aston Martin? And he has to wait for another opportunity. Stad Daisy is going to go for the move down towards Brussels, and he tries to turn in. Baloo is going for the move. Why have you gone for a move there? Baloo chanced it, it didn't pay off, and now here comes Ethan. Ballou turns in, nearly takes out the McLaren driver, and Ethan, the redemption drive, is back on up to P4, and Hydra gets a 3-second time penalty. That'll be costly come the end of this Grand Prix. Stad Daisy chasing him down, and he's about to return to where he started. Ethan in the McLaren. So can Stad Daisy get back into the lead? We are on lap 10 of what's been a very eventful pre-season Grand Prix. Tubbs Toaster with a 3-second time penalty. And what about Ethan? On the Mercedes. Oh, he gets a real good exit there, the McLaren driver. But so did Ballou in the Sauber behind. He's going to be a bit more patient on this lap. Ramus in the Mercedes just watching on in front of him as the other drivers just fight for position. And into a ruse we go. It is the Mercedes to the McLaren to the Sauber to the Mercedes. What about Stad Daisy? Into the slipstream of the V-carb in front. What about Ballou? What about Ethan? He is coming absolutely flying in towards Les Combs. And the Sauber going late on the brakes. Ramus in the other Mercedes. One at the front of this train, one at the back of the train. Etnevel goes through on Tubbs Toaster. And the Sauber back up to P8. So, one Mercedes at the front, one at the back. Oh, the McLaren just runs wide there as he opened up the door for Ballou in the Sauber. Down towards Campus, and the Sauber is going to try and hold on, but the Mercedes is through. Ramus getting through. What about Tubbs Toaster on the Sauber of Etnevel? And he's sliding everywhere. And there is a yellow flag, and that looks like it is Caruso. And the Polish driver having a race to forget now. It was going really well at the start. And the only two DNFs of this race are both the Ferraris. Here comes Ballou into the bus stop chicane. Later on the brakes he goes. He goes deep and then clatters into the Mercedes. Oh, Ballou needs to be careful there. You could see that coming from a mile off. Real unfortunate. And it is Ramus that goes behind Ballou. And Ramus the Romanian. Ballou the Hungarian. And now here comes Baltus to join the action. So the two Aston Martins in P7 and P8. Baltus all over the back of Ramus as they go up a Rouge. And what about Stad Daisy? Back into the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix goes Stad Daisy. Hydra will settle back in for second, but he will take that as he started from the back of the Grand Prix. Etnevel is through. What about the House of Grisou? And Sen Manders is out. And the safety car is back out. Upper Rouge. And Sen Manders is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. So everybody will gather back up again. So the safety car is out, and a few of the drivers have pitted. I think Etnevel got a drive-through time penalty in the Sauber, which is unfortunate. Ethan did pit in the McLaren, so did Baltus in the Aston Martin, and Baloo in the Sauber have all pitted. So they will be on fresh intermediates till the end of this Grand Prix. Was it a wise decision for the other drivers to stay out? I genuinely thought that every driver would have pitted onto fresh intermediates then. Stad Daisy, Hydra, Ramus, Toast and Grizu, even Etnevel, he's got a drive for anyway. They're going to be at a huge disadvantage coming to the end of this Grand Prix. And Belgium is so it's so hard on the tyres as well. Like, it's really difficult on the tyres. So it'll be interesting to see what the results are like at the end of this Grand Prix. But the safety car is out with 9 laps to go. Let me know who you think's going to win the Grand Prix in the chat. Mate, Ethan, that would be an absolute crazy race if there was 20 drivers in this. 2 Ferraris, now being in a Mercedes, already out of this Grand Prix. The safety car will be in at the end of the next lap. That's because Caruso is still just catching up in that Red Bull. So we have predictions in the chat. Baltus or Ethan are going to win. We will see. It won't be that long anyway. So we are going to go back racing at the end of this lap. And the safety car will be in. Stad Daisy is your race leader, but remember, keep an eye on them tyres, because that's what it's all about. It's been a very exciting race. I mean, there's been a lot of incidents, a lot of collisions, a lot of drivers colliding. But what do you expect? It's Belgium. It's raining. It's obviously, and it's a pre-season race. It's not like it's a league race, is it? So it's been exciting. Exactly what we thought it was going to be, and it's definitely lived up to that. So safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Here we go. We're going to go racing till the end of this Grand Prix. As Stad Daisy just slows down the pack. Remember, Grizu is in a good position without any time penalties. So is Ethan and Baltus. So towards the bus stop chicane we go. He's going to go as late as possible here, Stad Daisy. And he slows the pack right down. Out of turn 20 we go. And it is foot down for Stad Daisy. Hydra got a good exit. Etnavel is into the pit lane for his drive-through time penalty. Stad Daisy in towards La Source. Is the race leader. Hydra on his tail. Ramus and Tubbs Toaster is there. Remember, Ethan and Baltus on them fresh intermediate tyres. And they've made a mistake already. 1.6 behind the pack on them fresh inters. Grizu in towards a Rouge on the back of Tubbs Toaster in the Aston Martin, who's a little bit sceptical coming through there. Down the Kemmel straight we go. The Haas driver going for the move. Moves over to the left. And the Frenchman is through and up to P4. What about Hydra? Wheel to wheel with Stad Daisy, the VCAP and the Williams. And it is Hydra that is your race leader. Here comes Ramus in the Mercedes down towards Brussels. Later on the brakes he goes. Stad Daisy has to go the long way round and is now down to P3. Hydra, the race leader. Stad Daisy knows he's got no time penalties. He will take that into consideration when battling these lads. Stad Daisy through Puhon he goes. He sees Ramus make a slight mistake in front. Baltus all over the back of Ethan, who's still a second behind Tubbs Toaster in the Aston Martin. But it is Hydra that leads on lap 15 of 22 here in Belgium. What can Stad Daisy do? He's got to be patient, and that's exactly what he'll do. Oh, he nearly slips out as he touches the apex there in the rain. What about Ethan? 0.6 of a second is the gap. Now Caruso is through on Baloo, and Baloo's into the wall and out. Surely not another safety car. It is another safety car on lap 15. It's another safety car. That is the third safety car of this race. And there's such long laps as well. When the safety car comes out, it's like 3 minutes a lap. Hydra, Ramus, Stad Daisy, Grizu, Tubbs Toaster, Ethan, Baltus, all back into the pit lane. Every single driver back into the pits. And Etnavel will be able to catch up to the pack now. Then Mercedes are going to double stack. One of the Mercedes is out, isn't it? It's the Aston Martins who are double stacking, and it's Baltus that's being held up, and Tubbs Toaster will also take a little penalty as well. Wow. So Hydra is now the race leader to Ramus. What is going on here? Yeah, take the prediction back. So, 5 drivers out of this Grand Prix, only 9 remain. 6 laps to go, but the safety car is going to be out for probably another 2. So, Hydra is your race leader to Ramus in the Mercedes in P2. Stad Daisy in P3 but with no time penalties. Grizu in the Haas is in P4. He's also got no time penalties. Tubbs Toaster in the Aston Martin in P5. Then comes Ethan, Caruso, Baltus, all with no time penalties in the McLaren, the Red Bull and the Aston. And Etnavel in the Sauber will rejoin the pack after getting a drive-through. Will Hydra DNF? I guess he's got a tendency to do that, maybe. I don't know. I don't know these drivers personally, but I'm sure I'll get to know them in the future. As this is my first time doing commentary on these drivers. So, I'm pretty sure the safety car won't go in this lap. It might do, actually. Everybody's bunched back up. It might go in this lap. Oh, Hydra's back out on mediums. Oh, they're all back out on dry tyres. How did I not catch that? It stopped raining and they're all back out on dry tyres. Ramus, Grizu and Caruso are out on softs. That's a bit of a long way to go, though. Another 6 laps on softs, but the safety car is staying out for another lap, which is only going to help the medium runners. The soft runners, sorry, what am I on about? Ethan is back into the pit lane. So, all the drivers back onto dry compounds. So Ethan pits again, goes on to even fresher medium compounds. So Hydra leads. The safety car will definitely be in at the end of this lap. It's good for the soft runners because it'll just preserve their tyres for that extra lap, which is good for them. Yeah, it does. It looks like it's dried up pretty rapidly. So we'll see. But Ramus is going to be real quick off the line on them soft compounds. But I know that they do fall off pretty quickly here in Belgium. So it's just about Hydra holding on for as long as possible. And then obviously making his move once he's switched back to them higher mediums. Wants the race to switch back to the mediums. So, safety car in at the end of this lap as we go through Stavelot. It's been an interesting race. We started with dries, we went on to intermediates, and now we're back on dries. And the third safety car on its way into the pit lane. Ramus is real close to Hydra. He wants to get past as quick as possible and just make his move straight away, play his hand. It'll be a fascinating watch. Oh, Sosa's binned it. He's binned it behind the safety car. He wants to get a move on. Hopefully he didn't get any front wing damage from that. Oh, he has. He's missing an end plate. The Aston Martin has just binned it right at the end of this Grand Prix as the safety car was about to go in. Hydra looks like he's gone early here. He's caught Ramus out. That's a great safety car restart from Hydra in the V-carb. Out of the bus stop chicane we go. And Ramus is already 7/10 of a second behind the RB driver. Then comes the Williams, who's a second behind Ramus. So they were all sort of caught out a little bit from the restart from Hydra. That was brilliantly done from the V-carb. Ethan is wheel to wheel through La Source and the McLaren and the Sauber. Ethan is going to make the move. The Sauber driver has to slot in behind him, and nothing he can do on the Papaya McLaren. And up through a Rouge, he nearly loses it, and down the Kemmel straight we go. DRS should be enabled on the very next lap. Hydra still 4/10 of a second in front of Ramus, who's coming like an absolute stallion. Stad Daisy now has a time penalty. Oh, with 4 laps to go. That is critical for his Grand Prix. Here comes Ramus. He will be flying on them soft compounds. Hydra will have to hold him for as long as possible if he wants to benefit his own race, as Ramus just flies across the apex, touching the grass there. Down towards Pouhon we go. The Mercedes driver is all over the back of the V-carb in front, and Hydra knows he has to defend for his life here as we go down towards Stavelot at turn 16. And this is brilliant racing. Here comes Caruso on Grisou, a 10th of a second behind him as we go through Paul Frere. And down towards Blanchimont goes Hydra. Ramus is not catching him. You know, Hydra's doing a fantastic job here. Here comes Stad Daisy on the mediums, down towards the bus stop chicane. And what about Caruso on Grisou? He's edging closer and closer. Ethan with a little snap through turn 19. So did Baltus in the Aston Martin. DRS is now enabled Will they get it down the Kemmel Straight? I'm pretty sure they will. Here comes Ramus, and he is within a second of the V-Carb in front. So he'll be able to open that rear wing down the Kemmel Straight. We are on lap 19 of 22. Up Rouge we go. The Mercedes is only 3/10 of a second behind the V-Carb. The DRS will kick in, but he won't even need it. Ramus will remove the Hydra out of the race win position, and he will take it off the V-Carb. The Mercedes is the leader of the Belgian Grand Prix on lap 19. Stad Daisy comes as well. Hydra makes a mistake, and the Williams is through down towards Brussels, and Stad Daisy is up to P2. What about Caruso on Grisou? He's been getting closer and closer, and now the Haas driver will have to fend off that Red Bull from behind. Down towards Pouhon we go. Stad Daisy's all over the back of Ramus. Remember, he's on the mediums. Ramus on the softs. Can he get the overtake? He tries to go around the outside. He'll switch it back. He's got the V-Carb all over the back of him. And Ramus is doing everything he can do, but that V-Carb and the Williams will both have DRS as they go down the Kemmel Straight on the next lap. Here comes Stad Daisy on the Mercedes. Down towards Blanchimont they go. He's going to make the move. They nearly touch. The Mercedes nearly spins, but it is Stad Daisy that moves back into the lead of the Grand Prix, right where he started. Hydra gets through as well in the V-Carb, and Ramus goes down to P3. Them softs already starting to feel the heat. Baltus and Ethan are catching up to the soft runners as well. Here comes Hydra. He'll get the DRS. We're on lap 20. Through La Source we go. He's only 2/10 of a second behind the Williams driver. Down towards a Rouge. And he's super close to the Williams of Stad Daisy in front. Can the American hold on? Here comes Hydra. He's not even going to need the DRS. It's deja vu from lap 19. And Hydra is now your race leader. Here comes Ramus though with the DRS. Ramus goes up the inside of Les Combs and spins it. The Mercedes is down to P7. Ethan gets a time penalty for probably avoiding the collision. Baltus on the back of Caruso, the Polish driver in the Red Bull, up to P4. Grisou is into the podium places. Stad Daisy down to P2. And Hydra is the race leader. 2.5 laps to go. And Hydra, remember, he's on the medium, so is Stad Daisy. Grisou and Caruso on the softs. Baltus and Ethan will be catching him at a rapid pace for the next couple of laps. It's Stad Daisy in the Williams, Hydra in the V-Carb. It is all to play for, ladies and gentlemen, here in Spa on this pre-season race. What about Caruso and Grisou? Down towards Blanchimont they go. And he is closing the gap. So it's Stad Daisy on Hydra as they go up towards the bus stop chicane. Is he going to be patient? He is. He's going to wait as they go through turn 19 and 20. On to lap 21 we go. Down towards the line. That DRS kicks in for the Williams. The rear wing is open, but he'll definitely not go for the overtake here. In towards La Source we go. Hydra goes wide. Stad Daisy all over the rear diffuser of that V-Carb in front. Down towards the Rouge we go. He's going to get the move back, but if it's anything to go by, it will be Hydra that will lead on the final lap if he gets the DRS back on the Williams. Here comes Stad Daisy, and the man from the US of A will go back into P1. Caruso and Grisou getting closer and closer. Here comes Ethan. He's already got the overtake on Baltus, and he'll look at the Red Bull in front as his next target. 1.5 laps to go. Stad Daisy locks up in towards Brussels. Hydra closes the gap. Stad Daisy knows that he's got to put his foot down now and get a move on. If he leaves Hydra within DRS range, he could lose this race on the last lap. Here comes Caruso. What about Ethan as well? Only 0.8 of a second. Them softs will be punishing him now. Let's have a look at time penalties. 3 for everybody. 6 for Ramus and Etnevel, and 9 for Tubbs Toaster. Caruso could win this Grand Prix. This is incredible. Hydra started from the back of this grid, and Stad Daisy is nearly shaking him off. It is possible now, but I tell you what, Caruso in the Red Bull, he is on for the race win here. The Red Bull driver has been very, very clean in this Grand Prix, and it might pay off in just a lap's time. We go on to the very last lap of what's been an incredibly eventful Grand Prix. Stad Daisy in towards La Source. Hydra in the V-carb on the back of him. Grisou locks up. Grisou snaps it. And Caruso is going to close in on him. Up towards Aruz they go. This is Hydra's opportunity to get the overtake. Can he do it on the very last lap? Or has Stad Daisy created enough of a gap to keep hold of it? Down towards Let's Comms they go. Stad Daisy burning that battery, and he's not going to do it. Caruso moves through on Grisou. Here comes the McLaren of Ethan up the inside of Grisou. The Frenchman concedes the position. Here comes Baltus up the inside and nearly spins it. Hydra gets another time penalty. Baltus is through and Hydra is out. Hydra is out on the very last lap of this Grand Prix. Caruso needs to stay within 3 seconds of Stad Daisy to win this Grand Prix. Stad Daisy is 2.4 clear. Round Pujon down towards. I'm just trying to look where everybody is. It's 2.6 seconds for Caruso to Stad Daisy. As they come out of campus and down towards Stavelot. 2.5 is the gap. He's got 0.5 to play with, has Caruso to win this Grand Prix. Stad Daisy comes out of Paul Frere and down towards Blanchimont. 2.6 is the gap. He needs 0.4. Caruso needs to burn this battery. He's got a little bit more battery than what Stad Daisy's got. In towards the bus stop chicane. The American will come out of turn 20. He's going to cross the line in first position, but it looks like it's going to be Caruso and the Red Bull that wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Baltus takes P3, Grisou in P4, and Ethan takes P5. Wow. What an end to the race. So, Caruso, the man from Poland, wins here in Belgium. What a race. So let's go through the final standings. So there we have it on the top step. The driver from Poland in the Austrian car wins in Belgium. Let's have a look at the final standings. It is Caruso in the Red Bull that wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Stad Daisy takes P2 and the fastest lap of the race. Just missed out on the race win by 0.2. Baltus, the Hungarian in the Aston Martin, takes P3. Ethan in the McLaren takes P4. Removes the Romanian in P5. Grisou, the Frenchman, in P6. Then a couple of Hungarians, Etnevel and Tub Soster in the Kick Sauber in the Aston Martin. And Hydra in the V-Carbs crashing out on the very final lap, finishes in P9. Baloo, the Mercedes, Senna Manders and the two Ferraris, all DNF. Well, it's been very enjoyable, guys. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure commentating on this race. Very eventful, as I can say. But yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks to SKG as well. Really appreciate being able to jump in and do commentary for you guys. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend, guys.